Hello everyone, this is Spawnbroker bringing you another first-person gameplay commentary. This time I'm going to talk about Lion. So without further ado, I'll just go ahead and start this, and I'll talk about his abilities as I go to the lane. So his first ability is Earth Spike.
Prepare for
I'm sure you've seen this before. It creates a long line of spikes. It's very similar to Nyx Assassin or Sand King's stun, except it doesn't move Lion at all. And it does a lot of damage, and it does quite a long stun, so it's very good, and it's usually the ability you want to max first. So I am going to be supporting this time because Nyx Assassin wanted mid, so I bought the courier. Pretty cute little juggernaut courier over there. Awesome. And I'm also buying wards because I'm going to be going bottom, and I don't know which hero Pink is going to pick, but I figured I would be going bottom with someone. So there you go, I buy some wards, tango, and a healing salve, and then some branches. And they were going to send me bottom solo, but I asked to support Sven bottom instead, and to let Templar Assassin solo top. So that's what ended up happening. Oh, I ended up selling one of my branches for some clarity potions. This is usually a good idea when you're playing a support hero. You want to have more than a couple of stuns under your belt. I really like Lion's new model, actually.
The battle begins.
Little fat demon person man. So yeah, sorry, I was talking about his abilities. I forgot to talk about the rest. So his second ability is Hex. It's very similar. It's almost the exact same as Shadow Shaman's Hex ability. He turns someone into a chicken, pretty much, for a couple seconds. And then his third ability is a Mana Drain. It's not very good. I usually max it last. I very rarely find a use for it.
Restored.
And then his ultimate is Finger of Death, and it does a very large nuke to someone, and they usually die. So I put a ward there, just so we can see the rune, and we can see if someone's coming to gank us or whatever. And it looks like we are up against a solo invoker. And I mess up a little bit there, but Sven is on top of things. Go, Mr. Ghostblade Man. Oh no. So it looks like we're going to be up against probably a Quaswex invoker, is what I'm thinking. So because he didn't go exhort in the first level, that makes me think that he's probably going to be pumping Quas. Sven really wants those last hits. Not like I'm fighting him for him anyways. Sven keeps getting hit by that tower. Poor Sven. Lion has one of the worst attack animations in the game, actually. It's really bad. And that is really important when you're trying to deny and last hit and everything, so that's one of the things that makes him, you know, a weaker hero, because it's very hard for him to last hit. So I pick up a level in Hex for level 2. I will be maxing Hex second because I like CC abilities. So here we're just dancing around a little bit in the lane. Sven throws out a little premature stun. Not too hot there. He must not be very popular with the ladies doing that all the time. But Sven is getting most of the farm in the lane, so that's good. And we are here. I managed to throw down a little bit of harass on the invoker. I'm just trying to keep him away from the creeps. You know, make him cautious a little bit. So here I trade with him a little bit. I just throw out a little bit of a stun. No big deal. And since he is invoker, he does come out ahead in that exchange. Here I decided to go roaming for a little bit. I'm trying to see if I can get off a gank on Pudge. And I notice Nyx down there. So I stun him. And then I frog right afterwards. And then follow up with a Sven stun. Unfortunately, the Centaur did kill Sven. but I ended up getting the Centaur's gold and everything, and we got first blood, so it ended up working out. We come out a little bit ahead there. So not really much going on right now. Right, I believe we're checking to see if they're pulling, just to see what's going on. And I believe I despawn the camp and then I ward it so that they can't pull and they can't make Invoker safer. And here we try and get a kill off on Invoker.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Nice
under
stun,
attack.
but he manages to get a quick ghost walk off, and very sad. I did not have enough mana for the follow-up Hex, so that really sucked. Gonna push the tower a little bit. It's usually always a good idea to do this when you can, and when it doesn't look like there's an enemy in the lane. And Sven pulls the creeps back so he can get some solo XP.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I notice Nyx here, and I ping for Sven to come. It's always a good idea whenever you see the jungler just to mess with them a little bit. You know, ruin their Christmas, that kind of thing. It's usually always a good idea to try and do that. Here he sees us, so he's running. And Sven goes way aggressive. Don't know what was going on with that, but we get a ghost walk. And then Sven continues to want to be aggressive, which is kind of weird. And I was trying to stun both of them, but whatever. I just got the Invoker, and that's fine. We get a kill. And here I give Sven my salve, because it looks like he needs it. Usually it's a good idea whenever you're the support, just to go ahead and give them your salve whenever they need it. So here comes a gank from Pudge. I was trying to avoid a hook, and I do manage to avoid the hook, but then I run right into a Sunstrike. So, yeah. Not a whole lot I could have done there. I could have tried to juke the Sunstrike, but I was more concerned about Lifestealer and Pudge and chasing me, and it was just, you know, it was a tough situation. So, buy a TP scroll and go back to lane. Oh, I decided to pick up a magic stick first.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So fairly soon, I'm gonna want to start roaming. Once I hit 6
Dire's top tower
and get my
is under
ultimate,
attack.
it's usually a good idea for me to start roaming around and helping people push and helping with ganks and stuff. That's usually Lion's job, and Sven will be fine in the lane after that. Sven gives me his tangos because he says he doesn't need them anymore, and I'm like, well, I don't need them either, so I give them back. Just putting down some harass on the Invoker. It looks like he is going Exhort Invoker, so we don't really have to worry too much about him having a lot of regen. Maybe he's doing because he's doing some sort of weird build, and it looks like he's going Quas Exhort, which is fine. But it's kind of hard to tell.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So it looks like there's another gank coming for us, so we back up. Our ward in the Radiant jungle is also preventing them from stacking that camp, which is very good. That was the whole point. And looks like there's more ganks coming. So yeah, looks like everybody's abandoned mid for some reason. Kind of weird. Nyx Assassin
Radiant's
goes looking
middle
for trouble.
tower is under attack.
And he one-shots Nyx. Pretty awesome. And then he finds a Pudge. So I'm just hanging out here just in case he needs help. And looks like he's going to be fine. So now that Nyx Assassin has to go back to the base, I'm going to hang out in mid, push the lane a little bit, get some farm, you know, the usual. So item choices. My next item, I'm probably going to try and finish my magic wand, and I'm also going to be getting arcane boots this game. Arcane boots is just an all-around great support item. Lion is a pretty mana-hungry hero anyways, so it's usually always a good idea to get arcanes. And then, once I'm done with that, I'm probably going to go for a mech. So I see Windrunner right here. And then Pudge in the middle, so I'm trying to be a little bit cautious. And Templar Assassin looks like she wants to start something. Unfortunately, she messes up her meld. And I go top just to see if I can help TA out with her gank.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Messes up meld again.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And I Earth Spike some illusions. Awesome.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And now here we're just trying to push the lane a little bit, you know. Seeing if there's anybody at the top lane. We're going to get a couple hits in, and then back off. And here I'm just waiting for the money that I can get for an energy booster. Right now I'm just trying to roam around the map and see if I can find someone that I can just help gank and just nuke down immediately. That's the whole idea. And I see Pudge and Assassin coming. Or not Assassin. You know what I mean. Phantom Lancer. Jesus. So it's probably late, but I should probably have Dust in my inventory right now, just because of both Phantom Lancer and Invoker. And here I see Pudge ulting Lanaya. I come in here with a spike and a finger for some death. Pretty awesome. I was waiting for Pudge to get a little bit lower than when he started. I didn't want to finger immediately because he still had rot going and I didn't want him to suicide. So here the game's going pretty well for us. I'm doing a pretty good job supporting. That's there haven't been a whole lot of gank opportunities, but that's okay. That's because their team has mostly been spending a lot of the time in the jungle. I haven't seen a whole lot of them laning, trying to push lanes. So Nyx Assassin has been doing pretty good though. And there's me failing at more last hits. Something I've come to expect from my games. And here I do some mana boots to give everyone back some mana. I teleport bottom just to help out a little bit. And we see that Invoker has gone invisible, so we just decide to push the lane.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Ah, fresh meat.
Looks like Pudge got Nyx Assassin in a ultimate, and he kills him. Unfortunate. And here we're just pushing the lane, and we see that Invoker has come because, you know, he's invisible, but we're like, whatever, Invoker, we don't care about you.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
So what I do is, instead of splitting up from the Nature's Prophet, I just hang out near him. Even though we know Invoker's here, we just hang out together because we know there's nothing he can do. If he tries to jump one of us, he'll die. So that's the idea. And this, I believe, is the event that prompts me to pick up a dust. Maybe. I would hope, if I'm a good player. Please be a good player. Nope, I'm not a good player. Sad. Nyx Assassin finds Invoker, and he goes invisible again. So, at this point, I should have been like, enough of this shit. I need a dust. I don't know why I didn't. But, oh well, whatever. They get a nice kill on Pudge. Oh, no, he committed suicide. Ah, sad times. And we're gonna push top lane a bit.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Okay, Templar Assassin slowed down the Phantom Lancer, and then the Nyx Assassin came in for a stun, and I came in with follow-up stuns,
Radiant's top tower
and we were able to kill it. And Templar Assassin takes the fall. Windrunner runs away. I buy some dust, finally. Here I managed to get 2 people in my stun, pretty awesome. And I come in and I decide I've had enough of this Invoker. He needs to be a frog. So, there we go. Phantom Lancer gets away because we don't have dust yet. That sucks.
Radiant structures are fortified.
So here I'm kind of like, I've had enough. I need to get out of here.
Radiant's middle tower is under
You
attack.
guys are crazy. And I'm kind of like, you know, hey guys, we need to leave, huh? And I'm like, all right, I'll just come in here for a kill steal. That's cool. I was not able to save Sven, but it's his fault for staying that long.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I realize it's 16 minutes in the game and we still do not have a flying courier. So I'm like, oh crap. I'm sorry, guys. Doing bad support is bad. There we go. And as you can see, I'm starting to build my mech, and I have dust. So the Invoker is going to be in for a rude surprise. Can't believe it took me this long. So the general idea with Lion, you just want to wander around, be around for team fights, be near. You don't really want to be farming too much because you don't really need a whole heck of a lot of farm, and you want to be with your team pushing or defending pushes. And it's really just better just to leave it to the carries to farm stuff, and only farm if you're like close to an item or there's nothing, absolutely nothing going on the map. So here I see them pushing and I'm pinging the tower and I'm like, hey guys, let's defend. And nobody wants to defend. Pretty cool. Nature's Prophet does his ulti, which helps a bit, but I can't really go in here without, you know, suiciding
A
pretty much.
mysterious
So
force. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's top tower
doing my best
is
to
under
scare them.
attack.
And Phantom Lancer goes invis.
Radiant's
Invoker goes
bottom
invis, but I
tower
pop my
is
dust,
under
and
attack.
then I stun him,
Dire's
and
top
that's
tower
it
is
for
under
Invoker.
attack.
I believe, Invoker. You must have come too close to the mysteries.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has
Nature's
fallen.
Prophet and Nyx Assassin doing a good job pushing down towers while we're tied up with these guys. And now we're gonna continue pressuring top.
Radiant's middle
Or
tower
we're
is
gonna
under attack.
no, we're gonna go away. Because there were three of them up there, and we were kind of getting a little bit scared, so we didn't want to do too much. So we're gonna push this this middle tower down.
Radiant's middle
Pretty easy tower to
is
take.
under attack.
It's usually a good idea just to go around the map taking the easiest towers because they're all worth gold and it's a good
Radiant's
idea.
middle tower has fallen.
So here, Pudge gets a bit out of position. I finger the Windrunner. Boy, that sounded bad. And then I'm auto-attacking Nyx until he gets out of his BKB, or his ability
Radiant's
that
bottom
acts like a
tower
BKB,
is under attack.
and then I chain stun him until he dies.
Warriors of the wood.
So that's the power of Lion in team fights. He's really good at keeping
Radiant's
a
middle
carry
tower
or
is under
keeping
attack.
an important hero just chain stun, and he can target down a squishy and just be like, hey, you're dead. And they can't really do much about it. It's really cool.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under
And
attack.
now we got 2 towers. We're going to back up. I'm going back to base to heal. And I don't think I quite have enough for a mech. Yeah, I'm a little bit away. So, at this point, I wanted to buy wards, but I also really wanted a mech. So I decided to hold off on my wards because a mech is very important for team fighting, and I'm about 150 away from a mech. So I just tell myself, okay, I'll go farm the top lane, I'll get my mech, and I'll be able to afford wards, hopefully. So, unfortunately, when you only have one person on the team acting like a support, you tend to have to make these trade-offs. So when you see people who, you know, don't have wards up at a specific time or whatever, it's not always the support's fault. Like sometimes they have an important item they're trying to get or whatever. So yeah, and other times, you know, it is the support's fault. I can tell you right now, I don't always keep ward coverage up the entire game when I'm playing support. There are important items I need to get, and I can't afford to buy wards all the time. So I did actually ask my teammates to buy wards if they could afford it, but nobody did. So kind of sucks. So I go and farm some jungle creeps. That's just something you need to try to do whenever you're in a game like this. Just, you know, or whenever you're in a Dota game period, try and help your supports out. Like if you have the money and the support hasn't bought the flying courier by, you know, 7 or 8 minutes in, then go ahead and buy the flying courier. It's okay. The support isn't going to be getting farm because they're probably going to be giving the farm to someone else in their
Roshan
lane.
has fallen to the dust.
So here we get a free Roshan because there were no wards by the enemy team. I place this ward here. I notice Phantom Lancer. I'm like, oh crap, he's coming for me. And Nyx Assassin was luckily invisible when he got pulled. Windrunner gets caught out. And that's the second time that happens to her. Poor Windrunner. She's not having a good game. So I pop my mech to heal everybody up. And I'm trying to wait for my boots so I can get more people in it. So there we go. And I'm doing it again. I have a ward in my inventory that I'm not using. I tend to do this quite a bit. I use one ward and then there's like a team fight that happens and I forget about the second ward. It's very bad of me. I need to not do this.
I saw that ending from miles away.
Radiant's top tower is
So here
under
we're going to
attack.
take our advantage and take a tower again. This is something you always want to try to do in a Dota game. Whenever you have an advantage, try to take a tower.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Here they decide to engage. I get caught out a little bit by Nyx, but I heal myself with my wand, and then I pop the mech, and he is forced to back off. So that's another thing that mech is really good at, and plus wand is it's good for burst healing, and it keeps you alive.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And Pudge spawns again, and he manages to pick off the Nyx Assassin, but Nyx Assassin had a Aegis, so that's cool. And I kill steal the Pudge.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Not proud of that one. That's one of the problems with Lion is you can tend to fall into this trap where you see a low person and you're like, I must use my finger of death on that person, and you don't think to yourself to target the full health heroes. You just want to get that one person down as fast as possible, even though they're probably already going to die. So you tend to fall into that trap with Lion. So my next big purchase here is going to be a Blink Dagger, because Lion is really good with a Blink Dagger. It allows him to initiate on someone, and since he can keep one person chain CC'd for up to 4 seconds, I believe it is. Let me check. 2.52. 4. So he can keep, yeah, it's much longer than that. He can keep someone chain CC'd for 6.5 seconds once he jumps on them. That's a long time. So here I'm going to place my second ward, like a good support. Yay! 5 minutes later. Okay. So yeah, Blink Dagger, really good on Lion. He's a really good initiator. Nyx Assassin does a good, barely gets away, does a good teleport. Pudge trying to hook me, failing. And here I see Lanaya doing a bit of diving, and so I decide to support her, but I'm gonna stay back just because I don't want to die. I should have done that in reverse order. I should have mech'd and then done my mana boots, but that's okay. Not a huge loss. I already have a rather large mana pool. Lion's actually got really good int gain, so he ends up having mana problems, but it's the mana regen that you really want to get on him. And here I notice that everyone's going to attack Lanaya. She gets pulled by Pudge, and I try and help out, but she's dead. So, and then Nature's Prophet poured it in, and I was like, oh crap, I'll try and help out, but... And there I noticed Invoker was going to get away, so I fingered Invoker. Oh my god, I need to stop saying that. Jesus. Oh no, this is terrible. I need to stop saying that. I ulted Invoker, I did not do anything else. And Nature's Prophet knows that the Nyx is inside his necro stuff, so he trees himself in. Pretty funny. And then Nature's Prophet gets pulled with a perfect Pudge hook. There we go. Managed to avoid the Windrunner shackle. Pretty awesome. And mana boots are just now up. Yay. So as you can see, I'm going through a lot of mana because Lion's ultimate costs 420 mana. You can mana drain the ranged creeps. That is one thing you can do with Lion. So that's what I did, and I got quite a bit of mana back from that. That's the only time I think I've ever seen mana drain be useful. I've never seen it actually be useful on heroes. I've seen some people try to use mana drain as a harassment tool in lane to just drain people's mana, but it's much more effective just to get both of your CC abilities instead of mana drain. So here I get out just barely,
Fresh meat.
And I port back to base. And I pick up a blink dagger. Unfortunately, the game is pretty much over because Templar Assassin and Nyx Assassin are just cleaning up. So I buy some more wards just in case.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And they're just wrecking
Radiant's
faces.
top barracks are under attack.
This is why it can be really awesome when you let someone jungle on your team, because you allow for 2 solo lanes, and that allows for
Dire's bottom tower
2
is
people to
under
get solo
attack.
farm and solo experience. So they just end up wrecking if they both end up having a good laning experience. They just end up wrecking in the end of the game because they've got an advantage because of that early game jungler. Now, it doesn't always work out. Like, if your jungler never comes to help in the lane, or if your jungler doesn't know how to jungle properly, or whatever, then it can be detrimental. But when you have a Nature's Prophet who knows what he's doing, you know, that kind of stuff can happen, and it does end up being a significant advantage for your team. So here, I put a ward at the top of this ramp because it gives vision on both sides and into the enemy jungle. It's a very good offensive ward. And then I also know I can put a ward over here too, and that would be a pretty good offensive ward. So now we have almost full vision of their side of the map, which is really cool. And I'm like, why am I going the long way? I have a blink dagger.
Truth is all around you, but it hides
And
from the
what
unworthy.
lion game would be complete without using your ultimate on a creep?
Your death was a secret.
I know you all were looking forward to that. That was probably the highlight of your game. So I'm glad to not disappoint you.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Seriously, you can't play a lion game without at least once using your ultimate on a creep.
Radiant's
It's
middle
impossible.
tower is under attack. Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
So here we managed to get the second racks down, and game is pretty much over. Yeah, and Phantom Lancer complaining about Templar Assassin here, and I get hooked. Oh, sad panda. Not good.
Radiant's bottom tower
Yeah,
is
so
under attack.
Phantom Lancer is complaining about Templar Assassin and how OP she is. I don't think Templar Assassin is incredibly overpowered. Not compared to someone like Lycanthrope or you know like Invoker. I just don't think she is as game-changing of a hero as those other heroes. She is very good at what she
Radiant's
does,
bottom tower is under
but she
attack.
doesn't completely change the dynamic of the game just by being in the game. So, yeah, that's my opinion.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Like, Nature's Prophet,
Radiant's bottom
Invoker,
barracks are under attack. Radiant's bottom
Lycanthrope,
barracks
those
has
kinds of
fallen.
heroes, they just completely change the
Radiant's
dynamic of
bottom
how a game
barracks
plays
has
out
fallen.
just by being picked. And there are very few heroes that actually do that. So I'd say she's not as overpowered as those heroes. And here we
Radiant's
now have
middle
mega
tower
creeps,
is under
so
attack.
they're still complaining. I don't know why.
Oh, the mysteries.
They're just butthurt, I guess. And
Nyx Assassin.
yeah, so this is my lion game. This is pretty much how to play a support lion in the side lane,
Radiant's middle
and
tower has
you know,
fallen.
it seems
Radiant's ancient is
you know
under attack.
he's a decent hero. He has sort of fallen out of favor recently because compared to the other hard supports because his attack animation isn't very good. Some other problems with his abilities, you know, like for example, mana drain is just useless. So you know, he's not like top tier support, but he can still be played as a very good support. So that's my lion game. I hope you enjoyed watching, and please subscribe and like my videos, and feel free to leave any comments on what you'd like to see in the future, and let me know what I can do to change to better help you. So that's the whole goal, and this is Spawnbroker, and I will see you next time.